Hi, in this session we are going to talk about contributive diplomacy in information and communication technology. The Korean government promoted a Korea-style aid model centered on industries with comparative advantages with the launch of the comprehensive measures to improve foreign aid in 2005. The information and communication technology field was selected from the beginning as one of the sectors with comparative advantages in Korea's contribution. Korea's Information and Communication Policy Research Institute defines ICT ODA as official development assistance provided in various fields that has the direct purpose of developing information and communication, or utilizes or includes information and communication technology. This is the data of aid disbursement of aid for science and renovation before the COVID-19. Korea's aid in this sector is pretty interesting. Although the proportion of non-grant aid is relatively high, Korea is the country that provides the largest amount of ODA in the technology sector, which is all the more significant considering Korea's relatively small ODA volume. 4.6% of Korea's development cooperation projects were used in the information and communication technology field, which is very high compared to the average of 0.1% for OECD DAC member countries. Here, Eileen is going to introduce a case of ICT ODA Korea, the K-Lab project.
The Korean Ministry of Science and ICT, established together with the National IT Industry Promotion Agency, an official development assistance project that is mainly based on using ICT for development and whose procedures are according to the Framework Act on International Development Cooperation. The project aims to contribute to the improvement of the ICT level of developing countries and close the previously mentioned accessibility gaps. By doing so, the effectiveness of international development cooperation is supposed to increase as well. The main instrument of the ODA project is to build the so-called K-Lab facilities. Those can be described as digital innovation infrastructure that supports the acquisition and experience of digital technologies, such as the discovery of different ideas and the implementation of prototypes according to those ideas. Thus, besides the installation of equipment and the construction of utilization facilities for digital production, the establishment and operation of collaborative spaces and educational facilities are provided by the project, each of which is suited to the recipient country's situation and the user's capabilities. Therefore, a basis for using digital manufacturing equipment, software, as well as ICT training is provided to enable the development of creative ICT innovation where it usually would not be possible. Those K-Labs therefore support using human resources in the sense of strengthening education, encouraging innovative thinking, and realizing new ideas on the basis of digital means. Instead of implementing and operating standardized infrastructure and trainings, the different K-Labs' digital infrastructure is adjusted to the local circumstances of the individual developing countries in order to increase their chances for success and their effectiveness. Examples where K-Labs have already been implemented can be seen in Bolivia, Myanmar, and Laos. In the latter, for instance, the K-Lab project was conducted at the National University of Laos, which had a weak education foundation in the field of science and technology. K-Lab aimed to tackle those departments and supported the university with the necessary digital infrastructure and training. In total, more than 1,000 students from the university profited from the project, and as an additional success factor, they jointly carried out a project with Korean students to discover local problems in Laos, such as climate disasters, agriculture, transportation, and the environment.
With the government's initiative, Korea's ICT ODA project has been planned and carried out individually by ministries and implementing agencies. Science and technology and digital innovation have become important topics of the Third International Development Cooperation Basic Plan, which has been in progress since 2021. In 2022, the Korean government announced the Science and Technology and ICT ODA promotion strategy after 2 years of discussion led by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Science and ICT. The promotion strategy set the digital transformation of developing countries as a key task of the strategy. There has been a criticism that Korea has been passive in setting international agendas in the field of science, technology, and ICT ODA, despite its pretty outstanding contribution in terms of volume. Hence, this is also considered to be a step forward in Korea's ICT ODA by strengthening global cooperation and emphasizing leadership in this field. KOICA, an export and import bank in Korea, includes ICT in 8 key areas of international development cooperation and selected it as a key comparative advantage in search on Korea's aid model. As I said earlier, in terms of aid volume, Korea is one of the top donors in ICT ODA. If we look a bit deeper, while pure digital ODA is estimated to account for about 2%, the convergence digital aid sector is estimated to account for 10% of the total. This data tells that the Korean aid is given more to ICT application to other areas. Hence, the following session will have a look at convergence ICT ODA. This is it for this session. Thank you.